The journey of third-party. Third-party cycles, also known as vendor or supplier management cycles, involve the process of managing relationships with external suppliers or service providers. Here are some best practices to consider when it comes to third-party cycles. Vendor selection. Conduct a thorough vendor selection process, considering factors such as reputation, capabilities, pricing, and alignment with your organization's goals and values. Perform due diligence, including background checks and reference checks. Use case. When selecting a software development vendor for a project, create a vendor evaluation matrix that considers factors such as past project experience, technical expertise, cost estimates, and client references to objectively assess and choose the best suited vendor. Clear contracts and agreements. Draft comprehensive contracts that clearly define roles, responsibilities, deliverables, and performance metrics. Include dispute resolution mechanisms and terms for termination or exit strategies. Use case. Develop a comprehensive service level agreement, SLA, for an IT service provider, specifying response times for support tickets, availability guarantees, and penalties for not meeting performance standards. Regular performance evaluation. Establish key performance indicators, KPIs, and service level agreements, SLAs, to measure vendor performance. Regularly assess and review vendor performance against these metrics. Use case. Conduct quarterly reviews with the marketing agency to assess campaign performance against predefined KPIs such as website traffic, conversion rates, and return on investment, ROI. Communication. Maintain open and transparent communication with vendors. Regular meetings and updates are essential. Ensure there is a designated point of contact for issue resolution and inquiries. Use case. Set up weekly status meetings with a logistics provider to discuss shipment tracking, delivery schedules, and any issues related to transportation services. Risk management. Identify and assess potential risks associated with vendor relationships. Develop risk mitigation plans and strategies to address these risks. Use case. Identify potential supply chain disruptions by regularly monitoring global events and weather forecasts to proactively address risks like delays or shortages in the supply of critical components. Data security and compliance. Ensure that vendors adhere to data security and privacy regulations, especially if they handle sensitive information. Regularly audit and verify compliance with relevant standards. Use case. Perform an annual cybersecurity audit on a cloud service provider to ensure compliance with data protection regulations and validate the effectiveness of security measures. Payment terms. Establish clear payment terms, including invoicing processes, payment schedules, and penalties for late delivery or subpar performance. Use case. Define a payment schedule with a construction contractor that includes milestone-based payments, with a percentage tied to completion of project phases and clear payment terms for any additional work or changes. Performance improvement. Collaborate with vendors to implement continuous improvement initiatives. Provide constructive feedback and encourage vendor-driven innovation. Use case. Collaborate with an outsourced customer support team to implement weekly training sessions, focusing on improving communication skills and product knowledge to enhance customer satisfaction. Conflict resolution. Develop a structured process for resolving conflicts or disputes with vendors. Escalate issues to higher levels of management if necessary. Use case. Establish a formalized process for resolving issues with a software development vendor, including a tiered approach where minor issues are handled by project managers and major disputes are escalated to senior management. Exit strategy. Plan for the end of the vendor relationship by outlining transition processes, data handovers, and any necessary knowledge transfer. Use case. When transitioning to a new managed IT services provider, create a detailed transition plan that outlines the data migration process, hardware and software handover, and user training to ensure a smooth transition. Supplier diversity and sustainability. Consider supplier diversity and sustainability by working with a diverse set of vendors and assessing their environmental and social responsibility practices. Use case. As part of your procurement strategy, actively seek out and engage with diverse suppliers from underrepresented groups, promoting diversity and inclusion in your supply chain. Performance benchmarks. Benchmark vendor performance against industry standards to ensure you are receiving competitive and high-quality services. Use case. Benchmark the response times and network latency of multiple cloud service providers to choose the one that consistently offers the best performance for hosting your web applications. Auditing and monitoring. Conduct periodic audits and assessments of vendor operations to ensure compliance and performance standards are met. Use case. Perform quarterly audits of an accounting services vendor's financial records and compliance with accounting standards to ensure accuracy and regulatory compliance. Documentation. Maintain thorough documentation of all vendor-related activities, including contracts, communications and performance reports. Use case. Maintain a centralized repository for all vendor-related documentation, including contracts, communication records and performance reports accessible to authorized team members. Review and adapt. Regularly review and adapt your vendor management practices to stay aligned with evolving business needs and market conditions. Use case. Regularly convene a cross-functional team to review the effectiveness of your vendor management practices and make necessary adjustments based on changing business needs and industry trends.